A lot of golfers are taught that they should hit down and through. And one of the things that I always like to talk about is there's a reason it's called a golf swing and not a golf hit. It may seem kind of silly, but if you think about it for a second and you think about the way the club's designed and the way that your body can move to swing this club, the fastest and most efficient way to do it is not trying to hit with the trailing side of your body, which so many of us do because we're right-handed. It's learning how to swing the club fluidly with the lead side of the body that allows the club to actually work down and through without you trying to hit down and through. And that's the difference. I'm not saying that the golf club shouldn't work down and through the ball. Of course it should. It must release after that. But the trick is, how do you do that? Most golfers see a tour pro take a nice divot in front of the ball, and then they start trying to fabricate it. They start trying to force the club to get up here, start pushing really hard with the right arm, and they get into this old Lee Trevino type follow through or release point where they're holding the club off. All you're doing here is holding the club from releasing what it naturally wants to do. It doesn't want to do this. How unnatural does that look? The club naturally wants to rotate and release. That's why the toe or the shaft, the heel is in the heel of the club instead of the center of the face or even in the toe. The club is designed to rotate around the shaft. By not doing this, you're taking out between 7 and 10 miles an hour free club head speed. So many people get caught up on the idea of flipping and they're worried about having this flippy release. You're not doing that at all when you release the club properly. And I've done tons of videos on how to release it. So if you go to RotarySwing.com and just search for release, you're gonna see all the drills that we do to show you how to release the club like a tour pro without trying to manufacture and manipulate this release. That's the last thing on earth you'd ever wanna do. But when you come to the concept of hitting down and through, I want you to understand that that happens naturally in a proper golf swing and is something you should never, ever try and do. The last thing I ever try and do is hit down on the ball. But every single time I still take a clean, crisp divot. How does that happen? Well, it all happens as a byproduct of doing other things correctly in your swing, like having lag, shifting your weight. But most importantly, it comes from not pushing with that right arm, because that's gonna make the club want to continue on a downward tangent into the dirt. And so if you're taking deep divots, take your right hand off the club and make some swings and see what happens. Almost every single time in the 20-something years I've been giving lessons, when I have people swing and they're taking deep divots and they're back here behind the ball, as soon as I take their right hand off the club and I make them make a swing, they miss the ground completely. Shocker. The club should work through the ground very shallow. When you watch somebody, a great ball striker like Jack or Tiger, whoever in their prime, they can practice from an area this big and just barely take a little clip of grass every single time and take nice shallow divots. You cannot do that when you're pushing the club down with your right hand because you're making the club want to go down. The left hand, the bottom of the swing arc is right here and the club can only start working back up. So as I let the club naturally work down and release, I'm going to take this nice shallow divot every single time without having to worry about hitting it clean or hitting it fat. It's gonna take care of itself. So if you wanna understand how to do this consistently and a great drill that you can practice at home or at the course, take a look at this bonus video. I'm gonna show you how to get the lead arm to work, to get the club to bottom out and naturally work down and take a nice, crisp, shallow dollar bill sized divot every time.